Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Just trying to get my notes. All right, I got my notes, official notes. All right, so y'all know what we're gonna be talking about, man. We're gonna be talking about Lane Kiffin is officially the new head coach of LSU. He's the new. They just announced it. Well, I think they announced it probably a little while ago, like an hour or 2 hours ago. But the press conference is gonna be tomorrow on Monday, and you know, it's official, right? So LSU instantly is getting an upgrade in Lane Kiffin. We know what type of offensive mastermind Lane Kiffin is. Lane Kiffin is behind a lot of the success of Nick Saban. Lane Kiffin is behind a lot of the success of Nick Saban with those national championships and just how dominant Alabama was on offense. And quite frankly, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin is the best coach Ole Miss ever had. He's probably going to go down as Ole Miss's most winningest coach of all time. We know what the situation is with Ole Miss right now. They are on the verge of pretty much they're going to the playoffs. Kudos to them. But there has just been a lot of this whole situation has been really nasty and messy for LSU and Lane Kiffin. And, you can't really, although, you would like to have seen the whole situation play out a little bit better, the real issue is just the college football calendar, right? It's just the calendar. Early signing day is December 7th, I believe. So Lane Kiffin has to get in and, try to recruit the guys that LSU already has committed to that team. He has to, because, I talked about this in a previous episode. Once a team hires a new head coach, which LSU just did, the transfer portal comes open for 5 days after the new hire. So Lane Kiffin is hired today. Okay, someone that said something. I saw Coach O at the gas station in Gonzales yesterday. I asked him, "You in your way back home?" You call him daddy? I guess so, man. Coach O has made it known that he would love to be on Lane Kiffin's coaching staff as the defensive line coach. Now, I think LSU has Kyle Williams as his defensive line coach, but I didn't really think that the defensive line was very dominant this year for LSU. They didn't really generate a lot of pressure with just four. So you saw LSU having to blitz a lot with Harold Perkins and Wes Weeks. And I think that was one of the reasons why LSU got gashed a lot on defense, because they was doing so much blitzing with the linebackers. And you even saw people like PJ Woodland and a few safeties and nickelbacks and cornerbacks blitzing too. So the defensive line wasn't able to generate a lot of pressure with just four. And you saw people like Jack Pauburn, who got paid a lot of money to come from Florida. The dude couldn't set the edge. Peyton, the other guy that we got from Florida State, he couldn't set the edge. You saw LSU struggle with a lot of running quarterbacks. Trinidad Chambers, Marcel Reed, Diego Pava from Vanderbilt gashed LSU's defense. And so, the defensive line didn't do a very good job of containment. So hopefully Coach O can come in and change that. I know one thing, Coach O is a hell of a recruiter. And so I would love to have Coach O on the staff. Him and Frank Wilson and here, Coach O, Frank Wilson, and Corey Raymond, they need to stay. Lane Kiffin know what's up. He needs to keep those three guys. Well, he need to bring in Coach O, but he definitely got to keep Frank Wilson and Corey Raymond for sure. But yeah, so Lane Kiffin comes over to LSU. Obviously, LSU gets a definite upgrade on the offensive side of the ball. I just want to see LSU just return to some type of level of consistency, man. The last time LSU had a 10-win season was 2020, was during the pandemic. Hello, Taco. Our defense played a lot of snaps. They were tired many games and lost a lot of depth during the season. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right about that. LSU's defense had to stay Christian. Okay, Christian, bro. Yeah, Christian. LSU, the defense did stay on the field a lot, especially versus that Ole Miss game. LSU defense played a lot. Like the offense just wasn't helping. The team wasn't playing complimentary football. You seen games where it was a close game for LSU, and then Damian Ramos would go out there and miss a field goal. Then there was games where the defense didn't show up, but predominantly, most times the offense wasn't showing up. And so that the defense did stay out there a whole lot. But I saw recently, I just saw that Lane Kiffin, apparently, I don't know how true this is because I'm not connected to the LSU program at all, Christian. But I just saw that Lane Kiffin apparently told Blake Baker if he wanted to stay, that he could stay as the defensive coordinator. Now, Tulane does not have a head coach right now. Their head coach, he went over to I think Florida. And so, Tulane may want to try to bring Blake Baker in as their defensive coordinator. I mean, as their head coach. I don't know. But rumor is that Lane Kiffin told Blake Baker if he wanted to stay on as the defensive coordinator, he could. So he just needs to do the best that he can to try to fix the defense versus running quarterbacks. But I mean, if he chooses to stay, kudos to him. If he chooses to go and try to be a head coach, I can't get mad at that either, because I think the goal of every coach that's coaching in college, high school, or in the pros is to be a head coach one day. So if he decides to go and be a head coach, I can't be mad at him. What team do you like more? I'm an LSU fan. You see all of the LSU stuff behind me. I'm an LSU fan, and I love the Eagles. So I love the Eagles and LSU. That's my teams. Now, it's still on. It's Lane Kiffin. I saw he's bringing in a lot of his coaches, right? He's bringing over Charlie Rice Jr. as the OC. He's bringing in his strength and conditioning coach. He's bringing his wide receiver coach over from Ole Miss. I know a lot of people were saying that no one was going to follow Lane Kiffin to LSU. That's a lie. Half of all of his offensive staff is following him over. The defensive coordinator that he had, Pete Golden, decided to stay, and Ole Miss decided to hire him as their head coach. So congratulations to him. But again, LSU could just simply keep Blake Baker as the defensive coordinator, and you're going to go from there. And so his staff is not completely filled out yet, because you still need assistant coaches, running back coaches, all that stuff, which that can be Frank Wilson. But as the dust settles, you're going to find out more who is going to be on this staff officially. Like I said, the fallout was real nasty. If you go on social media, man, there was all type of people on Twitter just saying diabolical stuff about Lane Kiffin, saying that they hate him. I'm pretty sure Lane Kiffin is going to get a lot of death threats. The fans showed up to the airport to boo him as he was getting on the plane to go to LSU. And like I said, I feel for both parties. I feel for the fans, and I also feel bad for Lane Kiffin, because he said that he really wanted to stay and coach the team in the playoffs. But unfortunately, the college football calendar does not work like that, because he has to come in and he has to try to convince guys that's already on this LSU team to stay. And he also has to try to convince guys that maybe committed to LSU for certain coaches to stay and to play for LSU. So unfortunately, it sucks. And it's the college football schedule that, that causes that to happen, where you have to pretty much leave a team in the middle of a successful season, that like Ole Miss is having. So I'm trying to find some okay. Trying to bring up some B-roll from some of the things that's been going down. So you see right here, this is the statement from Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin said, after a lot of prayer and time spent with family, I made the difficult decision to accept the head coaching job at LSU. I was hoping to complete a historical 6-season run with this year's team by leading Ole Miss through the playoffs, capitalizing on the team's incredible success and their commitment to finish strong, and investing everything into a playoff run with guardrails in place to protect the program in any areas of concern. My request to do so was denied by Keith Carter, despite the team also asking him to allow me to keep coaching them so they could better maintain that high level of performance. Unfortunately, that means Friday's Egg Bowl was my last game coaching the Rebels. While I'm looking forward to a new start with a unique opportunity at LSU, I will forever cherish the incredible 6 years I spent at Ole Miss, and I will be rooting hard for the team to complete their mission and bring a championship to Oxford. Signed, Lane Kiffin. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Christian. The rivalry versus Ole Miss has been renewed for sure. You're right about that, big dog. You're definitely right about that. Let's see. There is some more stuff that I wanted to to bring up because there's just so much stuff that's been happening. So let's see. Okay, this guy says toxic program gain and a toxic coach. I don't think LSU is a toxic program at all. So I don't know what the fuck Austin's talking about. He's just butthurt. He says toxic program gaining a toxic coach. Match made in hell. Enjoy it. Well, Austin, man, you just butthurt, big dog. It is what it is. LSU is not a toxic program. I don't know what you mean by that, but let's see. There's more. Let's see. Yeah, so Coach Jason Brown, the racist, right? If y'all don't know who Coach JB is, he's pretty much known for being on I hope he brings an O-line coach with him. Yeah, bro. Brad Davis not it, Christian. Brad Davis, he ain't it. Brad Davis is not it. LSU's offensive line is soft. Can't open up holes in the run game. Can't protect the quarterback. Soft. Coach Jason Brown, who is known for being a racist and also the head coach of Eastern Mississippi, said that so Nick Saban and Pete Carroll, along with God and Jesus, said fuck Ole Miss, take your staff and players, and Bounce got it. He's talking about how Lane Kiffin said that before he made a decision, he was going to talk to Nick Saban and Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll and Lane Kiffin's dad was really close. And so obviously he looks at Nick Saban and Pete Carroll as father figures and mentors. And so that's what Jason Brown is talking about. Again, if I was Jason Brown, I would just shut up. The dude is misogynistic. He hates women. He's always saying nasty things about women. And he's a racist. And I mean, he's just a piece of shit. So for me, I don't take anything serious from, Coach JB, but, he does get on Twitter a lot and says a lot of, nasty, diabolical things. And so obviously he's trying to farm clicks and likes. So that's why he got on Twitter and said the things that he said. Let's see, I'm trying to find some more stuff. I had found a bunch of things that I wanted to kind of talk about. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see. Okay, so David Pollock, great linebacker that played for Georgia, now a college football analyst, said that Lane Kiffin is not the enemy here. The calendar in college football it's an absolute joke. Fix the crap, NCAA. Playoffs, National Signing Day, transfer portal, all within the same month's time frame. Just straight up stupid. So, like I said earlier, you kind of force the hands of Lane Kiffin and a few other coaches, because there's been a few other coaches who also decided to change teams today. Like I said, Auburn got a new coach. Florida got a new coach. And now there are some teams who don't have head coaches. And it's all because of the college football calendar. So as you can see right here, Auburn got a new head coach. Arkansas got a new head coach. Florida got a new head coach. And obviously LSU got a new head coach. And Ole Miss got new head coaches. So a lot of those teams, right? Tulane is projected to make the college football playoffs, but John Summerall had to leave. He had to leave and go over to Florida because, again, Nationals early signing day is right around the corner. He has to try to go in there and he has to try to convince kids that's coming out of high school that's committed to Florida to stay. He also has to try to recruit the current roster that's at LSU. And so it's the college football calendar. And also, man, we're talking about upward progression. If somebody came to you and says, hey, I'm Daryl. My name is Daryl, right? If someone came to me and says, hey, Daryl, we're going to offer you $90 million for 7 years. That is what the rumor is what Lane Kiffin is going to be making at LSU. It's all about upward progression. I would leave too. We know that LSU has better facilities than Ole Miss. We're talking about LSU has the second largest stadium in college in the SEC. I think behind A&M. They have better facilities, locker rooms, technology, a better recruit base in Louisiana. LSU, well, Louisiana grows wide receivers, right? Louisiana grows wide receivers. I don't have to name some of the wide receivers that came out of Louisiana, but LSU is one of the best brands in all of college football, right? And so, of course, Lane Kiffin will leave Ole Miss to go to LSU. And obviously the pressure is going to be on him. The pressure is going to be on him, right? LSU is going to I don't expect LSU to make the college football playoffs next season. Lane Kiffin has to get his guys in there. But, within 5 years, I would say within 2 or 3 years, the expectation is going to be for Lane Kiffin to make the college football playoffs. Definitely to win a national championship. Definitely get LSU back into consistency of winning 10 games or more, making the college football playoffs, winning a national championship, beating Alabama, right? The Alabama rivalry between LSU and Alabama has not been competitive. Like Alabama completely dominates LSU in that rivalry. It's like when LSU has to play Alabama, they piss down their leg, they tuck their tail, and they run. It's like LSU just gets scared when it's time for them to play Alabama. So hopefully Lane Kiffin can come in and change that. When Brian Kelly came in, hold on, I gotta drink some of my energy drink. Sorry. When Brian Kelly came in, you saw Brian Kelly that first season, they beat Alabama. And I was like, all right, cool. We back on the map. Now this Alabama and LSU rivalry is going to be good again. And ever since that first year, LSU has failed to beat Alabama, even though Nick Saban retired and they got a new head coach. LSU still wasn't able to capitalize and beat Alabama consistently. And let's see, we got some more stuff. What do we want to talk about? I feel like I'm missing. I guess that's it, huh? I thought I had more screens. Nope. That's it. There was some more stuff that people was talking crap about. Let's see. I have a video of the people showing up to the stadium booing. Let's put that up. Yeah, so that's Lane Kiffin leaving for LSU. Fans are not happy at all. And I feel for the fans. I do. I feel for the Ole Miss fans. This is like some of the best success that they ever had. And they seen it being snatched away. So yeah, so that, like I said, it got nasty. And then I mean, if you go on social media, you can see some of the nasty things that they're saying about Lane Kiffin, what they're saying about LSU. That's just a few examples that I put out there about just some of the nasty things that they're saying about, LSU and Lane Kiffin. Now what to expect moving forward, now there has been some recruits that has decided to decommit from Ole Miss. So presuming that they're probably going to look to flip to LSU. We don't know yet. Again, recruits commit to teams sometimes for our position coaches or sometimes for the head coach. We know Lane Kiffin has a lot of personality. He's very active on social media, and he's very active with his. You see him all the time going to recruits' houses and taking pictures with recruits at their houses, right? So Lane Kiffin has a very a great personality. A lot of players are, they're a lot of the players they gravitate towards Lane Kiffin. So you saw a few recruits from LSU side say that they were shutting down their recruiting, and they was going to sign with LSU on early signing day. You saw a few stud recruits in the 2026 class for LSU, tweet their excitement about Lane Kiffin being a new head coach, and you're seeing recruits for Ole Miss in the 2026 class decommit. And so the dominoes are going to fall. Now, Lane Kiffin is going to come in, and he's going to want to bring some of his recruits and probably some of his players from Ole Miss. And so, that's probably going to mean that some players on LSU's roster is probably going to have to hit that transfer portal. because there's probably not going to be any room for them. And that's just the unfortunate side of college football. You saw that happen when Coach Prime came over from Jackson State to Colorado. He told some of those guys, hey, man, I'm bringing my Louis luggage with me, so y'all got to hit the transfer portal. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of the guys that's on LSU's team would go to Colorado and easily start. But I'm just saying that that's just how it works. There's only a certain amount of scholarship players that you can have on a team. And so, unfortunately, if you're not a top performer, you're gonna have to go elsewhere. Okay, yeah, Christian, you said Lane Kiffin and Tiger. Oh yeah, Lane Kiffin and Tiger Stadium, man, is gonna be scary, dog. I normally go to LSU games, right? I was in the military, and every year I tried to, wherever I was stationed at, I tried to go to an LSU game. This year, man, now that I'm retired, I live in Lafayette, Louisiana. I haven't been to one LSU game, and I'm like an hour down the road from LSU. Lane Kiffin has showed how to do more with cheap groceries. Yep, you right. Yep. Christian, look, bro, you right. You need to come on the show, dog. You need to come on the show and tap in with your boy, because you're making sense. Lane Kiffin has done more with less, right? And like I said, you talk about the recruits that LSU has access to here in Louisiana and just abroad, right? Outside of Louisiana, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama. LSU has a big brand. They can go in any state across the country and pluck very good players from that state. So again, it's all about upward mobility, Christian. And you know this already. It's like, okay, yeah, Lane Kiffin was at Ole Miss, but you're talking about LSU. We're comparing apples to oranges, right? So yeah, and trust me, LSU, Lane Kiffin now is going to be shopping with the recruits Lane Kiffin has, the money for NIL, the locker room, the stadium, all of this, the technology is like Lane Kiffin is going to be shopping at Whole Foods now. He ain't going to be shopping at Piggly Wiggly no more. He's going to be shopping at Whole Foods. Nothing against Piggly Wiggly. I like Piggly Wiggly. I do. There's a lot of Piggly Wigglies here in Louisiana, but I'm saying Whole Foods and Piggly Wiggly are two different. It's just two different ballparks. It's just two different like avenues, two different lanes. So Lane Kiffin is definitely going to be playing with house money now that he is going to be the head coach at LSU. But I just wanted to hop on here and make this live and just kind of talk about what I was seeing. But I do plan on making a traditional long form video and dropping that probably later on tonight or tomorrow. Y'all miss JD5? Hell yeah, we miss JD5. Mr. Attitude. Sorry, man. Mr. Attitude Era. Hell yeah, we miss JD5. I thought that Nussmeier, man, look, for one, I want to say salute to Nussmeier. Nussmeier could have hit the transfer portal a long time ago. He stayed down with LSU for 5 years. He waited his turn. And I thought that Nussmeier after last season, right? Nussmeier played lights out last season. He made some bad decisions last season, but I said, hey, get him a better defense, and Nussmeier is going to play lights out. So I had very high hopes for Nussmeier in the 2025 season. And whether it was just injuries, you heard that he was injured, and you heard that he didn't put the work in. A lot of people were saying that Nussmeier was lazy. He didn't put the work in. And so you kind of saw that on the field. And, I feel bad for Nussmeier because this Nussmeier is, I just feel bad for the dude, but it is what it is. But, I respect Nussmeier. Kudos to Nussmeier. But, JD Daniels, if you would have gave JD Daniels, I'm saying JD Daniels, if you would have gave Jaden Daniels this defense that LSU has now, LSU would have been in the playoffs. If you'd have gave Jaden Daniels this defense the year that he won the Heisman, LSU would have went to the national championship and potentially won the national championship. I'm just calling it how it is. Jaden Daniels' time at LSU, the year he won the Heisman, he had Brian Thomas Jr., he had Malik Neighbors, and he had Mason Taylor at tight end. He had Emory Jones as one tackle, and he had Will Campbell as another tackle on that offensive line. And the defense under Matt House was just fucking terrible. And excuse my French, and they couldn't do anything. So yeah, I miss Jaden Daniels. I really do. I hope that he recovers. I know he's injured right now. I hope he recovers, and I hope he, continues to ball in the NFL and hopefully win him a Super Bowl and maybe, go into the NFL Hall of Fame. But yeah, I definitely miss JD5. That was a good question. I appreciate it, Mr. Attitude. I appreciate it. But yeah. Anyone else got any other questions? I'm surprised no Ole Miss fans haven't came on this live and said some very diabolical shit. JD5 only needed one stop, a half, and yep, you're right. You're right, dog. Like, you're right. He only needed one stop, a half, and he was gonna put the team on his back, and he was gonna win. And unfortunately, we don't know what could have been because they never gave Jaden Daniels a competent defensive coordinator, and they damn sure didn't surround him with good players on defense, and it sucked. And that's what I'm saying. Like, LSU needs to return to dominance, especially on the defensive line, man. They do. Like, LSU don't. I don't know the last time the LSU even had a player on the defensive line that had double-digit sacks. It's like that's not a thing anymore with LSU and the defense. We're finally seeing the defensive backs return to dominance, right? With Delaney Mansour and DJ Pickens and PJ Woodland, right? We're seeing the defense, the secondary return to a dominant form. But when is the defensive line going to return to a dominant form? You should not have to always blitz your linebackers and your defensive backs to get pressure. Your front four should be able to generate pressure. You see it all the time in the NFL. Front fours are generating pressure. So for you always having to generate pressure with your linebackers and your defensive backs, that's not good, because a good quarterback, if you have a nickelback that's blitzing, they're showing blitz, and the quarterback picks that up, I'm just going to throw the ball to where that defensive back vacated from. And now I'm picking up a first down on my wide receiver still running, and I'm scoring. So you got to be able to generate pressure with your front four. Well, we are about to start running the ball again. So I think that physical brand we are used to. Yeah, facts. I will ask you this, Christian. Do you think we're gonna keep Hollenberry and Kate Durham? Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if that running back from Ole Miss is gonna come over or not, but do you think LSU is gonna be able to keep Hollenberry and Kate Durham, or do you see Kate Durham walking? I think Kate Durham is probably gonna walk because he kind of got his spot taken by Hollenberry. I don't know. They say Cade Durham. To me, sometimes he don't really see the holes. Now I know this year LSU's offensive line didn't open up too many holes for the running backs, but I can see Cade Durham. I can see Cade Durham walking, probably going to Texas A&M or Texas or something like that. I like Cade Durham. I hope Cade Durham stay. I do. I like Cade Durham. I like him. I love Cade Durham. I also love Hollenberry. I wish JT Lindsey didn't get in trouble, but I hope Cade Durham stays and finish his career out at LSU. Lane will turn them into a good. Oh yeah. I mean, Hollenberry already is going to get Hollenberry. If Lane Kiffin would have never came to LSU, was going to get drafted in the NFL, but now Lane Kiffin is definitely going to be able to get Hollenberry, get Hollenberry and get Cade Durham's full potential out of them, along with Kyle Parker at wide receiver and a few other guys at wide receiver. Maybe Chris Hilton Jr. said maybe he stays for another year. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to look like. But maybe Chris Hilton Jr. stays. I thought that Chris Hilton Jr. was going to have a really big year, but again, it just never materialized into anything worth a damn, because the play, the quarterback play wasn't good. The O-line wasn't good. Nothing was good on the offensive side of the ball for LSU, which is sad, because I had high hopes for, based off what I seen by Garrett Nussmeier last season, I had high hopes for this team this year. And especially when we came out, went to Clemson and beat them on the road in a hostile environment, I was like, okay, LSU back. We was ranked very high. and then it just all fell apart. The wheels fell off the wagon at the beginning, towards the middle of the season. So it just never it never blossomed into what. Shout out to my friend Mo Lester. Shout out. No, what the hell are you talking about? I know what you're saying, man. We're not saying that. We're not saying that. We gotta block you. We don't condone that type of stuff out here, man. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And my dumb ass almost said that. We're not saying that. We're not using that word. You can take your ass on with that. We don't do that. We don't do that around here. We're not into that type of stuff on this channel, man. Take your ass on somewhere with that bullshit. But yeah, man. Sorry about that, man. People get on these lives and say dumb stuff, man. But yeah. Yep. So I think too, man. I think that the SEC is shaking in their boots, and I think college football is shaking in their boots because nobody wants to see a consistently good LSU. I'm sorry. I mean, it is what it is. Nobody wants to see a consistently good LSU. You seen what we did. You seen what we did to boys in 2019. So nobody wants to see a consistently good LSU. When LSU was down and out, people are able to come into the state of Louisiana and take some of our top tier talent. Brian Kelly didn't give two fucks about this LSU program. He was golfing more than he was game planning. And so you coming in with a Lane Kiffin who knows that if he has success at LSU, if he put in the type of work that he needs to put in at LSU, he's gonna have multiple playoff runs, multiple 10+ win seasons, and he's gonna constantly be in the mix for national championships and playing for national championships. So no one wants to see a determined, focused LSU. It is what it is, man. You can say what you want to say about Baton Rouge. You can say what you want to say about LSU. You can say what you want to say about Louisiana. But, for Louisiana being smaller than Florida, being smaller than Texas, being smaller than California, per capita, Louisiana is always generating top talent. LSU, Louisiana in general, has it's up there with Louisiana in general puts a lot of players in the NFL, puts a lot of players in the NFL. So I don't want to hear, when we're talking about, football, I don't want to hear the shit that they try to say about Louisiana. I mean, look at this. For instance, LSU is really good at building a brand. This is by the numbers, Lane Kiffin. So Lane Kiffin has, to his name, he has 106 draft picks. 20 of those draft picks have went in the first round. He's mentored 4 Heisman Trophy winners. His offenses average 562.4 yards per game. That's an SEC record for total offense in conference games. He's been a part of 3 national championship teams. 15 seasons as a head coach between college and NFL, 38 consecutive games ranked in top 25. Happy Sunday. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what he's done, not being a part of LSU. So just imagine what he's going to do now that he's the head coach of LSU. So, you can say what you want to say about Lane Kiffin, but, it is what it is. It didn't go down the way that, it didn't go down very pretty, but it wasn't going to go down very pretty. You're talking about a guy who is leaving a program that who has never seen this type of success before. And so it was not gonna go down very pretty, but it's all about upward mobility. If you offering somebody that type of money and that type of success, Lane Kiffin is already a legend, but LSU is going to be able to, that his legendary status is just going to go up tenfold. The SEC is getting better from top to bottom. Texas A&M, Texas, Oklahoma, all look like programs on the rise. Bama, UGA look like they are coming back to the pack. Yep, you're right about that, man. You're right about that. You're 100% right about that. And that's another thing that just bothered me, man, Christian. That shit bothered me that Texas was able to come into the SEC in their first year. They came into the SEC and was dominant. Texas A&M has been around for a while, but Mike Elko comes into comes into the SEC and he beats LSU in his first season, and he beats LSU in his second season. And already in his second season, he has Texas A&M going to the college football playoffs. Brian Kelly wasn't able to do that. Brian Kelly was coaching in the SEC way longer than Mike Elko, and even what's his name? Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. Brian Kelly was around in the SEC way longer than Kalen DeBoer, and like he wasn't able to bring LSU to the playoffs. Kalen DeBoer comes in and already has way more success than Brian Kelly at Alabama, which is crazy. Who would have thought the University of Texas would be a physical? Yeah, you're right. You remember when they was in the Big 12, everybody they were saying, "Oh, every year they would say Texas is back, Texas is back," and they wasn't back. They wasn't back. But then they came into the SEC and they turned into a physical program. And one thing I gotta say about Steve Sarkisian, man, his teams are always well coached. His teams are always well coached. He beat 3 ranked opponents. He beat 3 top 10 ranked opponents this season. The last team to do that was the 2019 LSU National Championship team. So you and Arch Manning is turning into the quarterback that we all thought he was going to be at the beginning of the season. I mean, the dude is playing lights out down the stretch, and they're just going to parlay his success into the offseason. Yes, throwing the ball 40 plus times a game. Yeah, I mean, they slinging that thing all around. You know, I would love to see LSU with the wide receivers LSU had, right? You Barryon Brown, Xavier Thomas, Kyle Parker, Chris Hilton Jr., Nico, Tre'Davious Green. I would love to see LSU throw the ball more, be balanced, obviously be balanced, be able to run the ball effectively, but be able to light people up effectively too. I would love to see LSU be able to drop back and throw the ball 40 times a game and actually just blow the lights off, just blow the pants off teams. Yes, he just needs to figure out. Yeah, he just need to. I mean, look, Archie Manning didn't ask for. I keep calling him Archie Manning. Archie Manning didn't ask for all of the publicity that he got. Obviously, his name. He's a Manning, so of course he was going to get that type of publicity. Look at who his uncles is: Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, right? Peyton Manning is a Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl winner, a multiple. Well, he won. Peyton Manning won 2 Super Bowls. Played in 3. So obviously he was going to get the publicity that he got, but he didn't ask for that type of publicity. So they had to go up to play. They had to go up and play. What's their name? Ohio State for the first game of the season. That's a tall task. Sorry, that's a tall task. And he had some really bad games. He starts off a lot of games very slow, but once he finds his groove, I mean, the kid is making plays. That when they was playing Texas A&M, he had that really nice run to pretty much put the dagger in Texas A&M, and so he's been finding his groove. So Steve Sarkisian has been getting him right, and I fully expect Archie Manning to definitely be drafted, if not number 1 overall next season, next NFL draft. Not this season, but next season, right? But I definitely expect Archie Manning to maybe win the Heisman or be a Heisman finalist next season. Because I mean the kid is playing. The kid is playing very well. I want to see who LSU. I want to see LSU's schedule next season. I don't know if LSU plays Texas next season or not. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if this is true. It says, I don't know if is this true? It says LSU's, let me share the screen with y'all. I don't know if that's true or not. Share my screen. Share screen. Kind of look at the schedule. Don't know if this is true or not. It says LSU's schedule next year is the SEC opponents is Texas A&M, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Alabama, Mississippi State, Texas, Auburn. Okay. All right. So LSU has to play Texas next year and has to play. Well, obviously, got to play Texas A&M. Okay. So LSU has to play Texas. No Georgia, but we have to play Texas. So yeah. So LSU has to play Texas next year, and so hopefully Archie Manning plays like shit versus versus us. But yeah, they got to play Texas next year. But yeah, that was a good that was a good statement. Like I didn't expect Texas to come into the SEC and dominate the way that they have so early on. But if no one else has any questions or comments or concerns, I think I'm gonna hop on off of here. I've been on here for 40 minutes. I appreciate everyone that tapped in and shot a question over or stated their opinion. That's why I created the channel. It's for people that like talking sports or talking LSU or what have you to, be able to get out and state their constructive criticism or their opinions about what they think about what's going on around the college football world or the NFL or LSU or whoever your favorite team is. So I appreciate go Tigers. You're right. Jacqueline. I don't want to jack up your name. Jacqueline. Yeah, go Tigers for sure. And hopefully Coach O, Coach O, he started that Tigers, like the Tigers. He started, Coach O, he speak that broken Creole French. So he started that, so hopefully, Lane Kiffin hires Coach O, because Frank Wilson is a very good recruiter. But I would love to have Coach O on his staff, man. I love Coach O. I just wish Coach O would have kept it to himself. He was trying to hit on, Coach O was trying to smash people that worked at LSU's wives and stuff like that. I wish Coach O was, Coach O, look, I'm gonna say this, man. Coach O, they need to write a book about Coach O if they haven't already wrote a book about Coach O. Coach O is living the American dream. You go back and look where Coach O came from, being poor, walking to school, right? The way how he talked, he's a Cajun, he's a coon ass, he's a redneck. And I want to say in Louisiana, calling somebody a redneck is not offensive. Calling somebody a coon ass in Louisiana is not offensive at all. That's a term of endearment. And Coach O grind. He grind. He coached. He was on that USC staff. He was LA Tech, right? He grind his way up. He gets his opportunity to be the head coach of LSU, and he won a national championship, and he's forever going to be a legend, right? So that's the thing that's so good about the American dream. If you still believe in the American dream, is if you put your mind to it and you keep working hard, you can be a Coach O. You can be a Coach O, dog. If you keep working hard, you can be a Coach O. Yeah, Jacqueline, it would be great to have him back. Yes, Coach O is a legend. Everyone loves someone that's comfortable. And Coach O is comfortable in his own skin, man. He ain't trying to, he don't give a fuck if you don't understand what he's talking about. Like, it's Coach O. Like, love Coach O, man. I just wish that, things would have went, I wish things would have went better for him. But I mean, obviously he's been on the sideline and, he's probably learned his lesson. And I hope that LSU can bring him back. Bringing Coach O back, man, would just heighten the allure, the aura that surrounds LSU. Whether it LSU, going to a night game, the stadium packed, how they say opponents come to Death Valley and their dreams die. It never rains in Death Valley, right? I think they should allow the band to play neck again. I do think that. I think they should let the band play neck again. We'll see. But having Coach O back on that staff, man, that'll be that'll be wild. We'll see though. We'll see. Knowing Lane Kiffin personality, I think Lane Kiffin is definitely gonna find a place for Coach O on that staff. Whether it's coaching being an assistant to the defensive line coach, or maybe just being player personnel recruiting. I would love to see Coach O on this staff. Yeah, he needed a little break from football. Because it all happened so fast, Christian. I mean, Coach O came in, he was the interim head coach. Then they hired him as the head coach. He won a national championship. Then COVID happened. And so he had all of the fame. They gave him They gave him a pretty big contract, right? He had all of the fame. He divorced his wife. He was banging co-eds, right? Like he needed a little break. He was taking too much Viagra. He was just going crazy, drinking too many Red Bulls. He lost some weight. He was running around with his shirt off on campus. He needed a little break. He got humbled. And I feel like Coach O back, man. I feel like he back and he needed a little break. And I feel like he back. And Coach O, when you come back on when you come back on the team, man, leave the cheerleaders alone, man. Leave people's wives alone, Coach O, bro. Find yourself your own wife and stuff like that. Yeah, Coach O helped raise Lane Kiffin from childhood. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like Lane Kiffin and Coach O go way back. Monty Kiffin and all, Coach O. Kiffin's daddy and O was cool, and Kiffin dad was also cool with he got paid as long as his ego allows him to come back with a smaller. Yeah, you're right. As LSU paid him twice. They paid him a contract, and they also paid him $16 million to walk away. So, like you said, he got paid as long as his ego allows him to come back with a smaller role. It'll be great. Yeah, exactly. You just gotta tell, hey, Coach, chill, bro, chill. Don't be walking around campus trying to hit on people's wives and stuff like that. Coach O and I'm trying to Google Lane Kiffin and Coach O's relationship because I know they got a relationship. I just don't know the whole history behind it. Let me share the screen so we can see. I want y'all to see what I'm seeing with the relationship because I know they had a relationship, but I don't really know all of it. So it says, we're looking at the Google machine. It says Lane Kiffin has been hired by LSU as the new head football coach, and he will not finish the season at Ole Miss. This is significant development. Lane Kiffin has a long-term relationship. The LSU former national championship winning head coach. It's not really saying why. It says they have a long history. I know they have a history, but I don't know what the exact history is. He brought him on USC. Okay, yeah, I knew they was together at USC. He brought him on several positions with him at USC and I think Tennessee. Okay, cool. Yeah. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Christian. Yeah. I knew they had a relationship, but I didn't know exactly what the relationship was. Because a lot of these coaches, like a lot of those coaches are all connected, like in their coaching tree. Like if you look at Nick Saban's coaching tree, Monty and O was tight. Yeah, I know they was tight. I know Monty Kiffin and I know Lane Kiffin daddy and Coach O was cool. And I know like Pete Carroll played a significant role in obviously USC played a significant role in Lane Kiffin's life too. And I'm pretty sure they told him the same thing. Bro, listen, it's a hard decision, but it's all about upward progression. Any politician that's a good politician is probably hoping that they're going to be a senator one day, probably the governor of their state or the president of the United States. It's the same way with these coaches. Every coach in college wants to win a national championship. But what do you need to win a national championship? You need players. Now that we're in NIL, you need money. And so, Coach O, Ole Miss, they just couldn't provide that for for Lane Kiffin. So I'm pretty sure Nick Saban told him, hey, man, go where you can ultimately reach your goal. Like obviously Lane Kiffin has national championships, but he doesn't have one as a head coach. He only has one as an assistant. So he doesn't have one as a head coach. And year in, year out, he's going to be able to have contact and be able to have some of the best recruits in all of the country commit to LSU because LSU is one of the best brands in all of college football. And so it's all about upward mobility, right? Like I was in the military for 20 years and I tried to always get the next rank, right? I always tried to get the next rank. That's what it was all about. Busting my ass to try to get the next rank. So in anyone's life, you're always trying to get the next position. Now, it's a good, it's a bad and a right, it's a good and it's a right and a wrong way to go about, getting to that next position. But it's college football, the schedule is fucked up right now. So he had to do what he had to do. footballers and coaches, it's his own fraternity, a small world, only one phone call away. You're right. It is. There's only one phone call away. And like I said, it's as much as it sucks, man. It sucks, but it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have teams that's gonna try to poach Lane Kiffin from LSU. Like, they said that, like, okay, if the Alabama job ever comes available, you know, they said that the Alabama job ever come available, that Lane Kiffin is going to go there. We got to see. I don't think Kalen DeBoer is going to go anywhere, but we have to see. But Lane Kiffin said it himself. LSU is synonymous with excellence and is amongst the most powerful brands in all of sports. So the proof's in the pudding, man. You got, okay, think about some of the pull that Lane Kiffin has, right? Okay, you talk about, and I'm probably going to miss some people, but you're talking about Odell Beckham. You're talking about Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., Leonard Fournette, right? Kevin Falk, all of these guys, and I'm missing a lot of these good, these all-time LSU players. I am, but I'm saying all of those guys played at LSU, right? So those guys, they recruit for LSU all the time. They recruit for LSU all the time. You also have a person like Frank Wilson, who brought in guys like Darius Geis, who brought in guys like Leonard Fournette, right? I heard Kalen D was looking at it. Yeah. And to be honest, man, I think Kalen DeBoer, the Big Ten fits his personality, right? The Big Ten fits Kalen DeBoer's personality. The SEC and Alabama is just too intense for him. And I feel like if he went to the Big Ten, that's where he would fit in the most at. The same way how I feel like, what's his name? Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning belongs in the SEC. He doesn't belong at Oregon. But we have to see how the dominoes fall. The way the national championship schedule is, he had no choice to leave. He had no choice. The way the national championship schedule is, he had no choice to leave. That way LSU was going to let him play out at Ole Miss. You're right, Jacqueline. Like, you're 100% right. Like, it was the way how the calendar falls. Like I said again, the early signing day is December 7th. So Lane Kiffin has to come in and he has to recruit this roster. So you think when I say recruit the roster, DJ Pickens, Harlem Berry, some of the underclassmen, he have to come in and says, hey guys, I would love y'all to stay on this team. But he also has to talk to the kids that's already committed LSU, that's coming out of high school. So he has to do that. And the transfer portal opens up 5 days after a new head coach is hired. I'm gonna pull it up because there was people that's not people are not aware that the transfer portal changed. So I'm gonna pull up that new rule. It changed. So let's share that screen. So people that don't believe me, I'm not pulling anything out of my butt. It's it changed how the transfer portal works now. It changed. So there's new rules. It says right here, it says the main new transfer portal rules, primarily for football. Now it says right here, it says the creation of a single 1 month transfer window in January and a shortened 15-day window for players after a coaching change. So it goes right here, coaching change rules. Instead of a 30-day period after a coach leaves, the new rule gives players a 15-day window to enter the portal. This 15-day window begins 15 days after a new coach. Sorry, I'm tripping. This 15-day window begins 5 days after a new coach is officially hired. So Lane Kiffin is officially hired. The transfer portal is going to open up 5 days from now for 15 days. So Lane Kiffin has to try to recruit some of the players that might be thinking about hopping in the transfer portal that played for LSU this season. And he's also going to be recruiting players that's committed to LSU, that's coming out of high school. So that's what I've been telling people. The calendar and the transfer portal and all of these rules is why Lane Kiffin and all of these coaches had to do what they had to do. I sincerely believe if you look at that video, if you go back and look at that video of Lane Kiffin getting on that plane, you think Lane Kiffin wanted to cause this type of chaos? No, I don't think Lane Kiffin wanted to cause this type of chaos, but he had to do what he had to do. And he's not the only coach that decided to dip. We saw John Summerall leave Tulane to go to Florida. We saw Arkansas get a new head coach. All of these, now Arkansas isn't playing for anything. So LSU's not playing for anything either. But I mean, LSU is going to a bowl game, but I'm saying it's not the playoffs. It's not a potential chance to win, to go play for a national championship like Ole Miss got. But it is what it is. And Ole Miss wanted to, Lane Kiffin wanted to continue to coach, Ole Miss. And I understand that aspect too. You would theoretically be recruiting against Ole Miss if he continued to coach Ole Miss. But they say that some of the players wanted Ole Miss to some of the players at Ole Miss wanted Lane Kiffin to stay. But yeah, the transfer portal, the rules changed. Now I just seen something showed up that it says the number one recruit. I just seen something pop up that says the number one college recruit, Lane Kiffin. They said it just came across my phone that someone, the number one recruit, reacted to something. Okay, right here, the number one recruit. Let's see, share the screen again. Let's see what's going on. Apparently, the number one recruit in the nation just said something about Lane Kiffin taking a job at LSU. So let's see what that's all about. Let's see what that's about. Okay, so the nation's number one recruit reacts. Oh, the top recruit, Lamar Brown, reacts. Okay, yeah, Lamar Brown has already been committed to LSU. So just trying to see what he said. I don't know what the hell he said. God, me and technology don't go good together. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. My computer not acting right. But apparently the number one recruit, Lamar Brown, he's been committed to LSU for a little while now. So I guess he has something to say about Lane Kiffin. But I think all in all, a lot of people are happy about the recruits. I think all in all, the recruits are happy about this Lane Kiffin hire. If I say so myself. But yeah. But all right. If no one else has anything, question, comments, like we used to say in the military, any save rounds, I'm gonna get off here. I appreciate everyone who hopped on the live. I know y'all Sunday is very jam-packed. Y'all have a lot of things y'all have to do. You have to get ready for work. Probably still getting over having family and friends over for Thanksgiving. And it's been raining. The weather's been really bad. So I appreciate everyone who participated in the live. Shout out to you, Jacqueline. I appreciate it. Shout out to you, Christian. Shout out to whoever else chimed in. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. You don't have to. I'm just saying, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I appreciate it. It helps me out a whole lot. I don't get paid anything. I don't get paid from YouTube. I don't get no checks or none of that from YouTube. I just do that. I just do this as a hobby. I'm a retired vet. I just do this as a hobby. It's just a way to pass the time and stuff like that. I'm a college student, full-time college student. I'm a father. And if I'm not fishing, my hobbies is fishing and this YouTube channel. That's what I do. So I like interacting with people in the comments. I like interacting with people in the comments and stuff like that. I like talking LSU football. I like talking. Obviously, I like the Eagles. The Eagles haven't been playing very good, lost 2 in a row, but I do appreciate everyone who support the channel. And so if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification button so you can stay up to date on all of the latest drops here on the channel. I hope everyone have a happy Sunday. It's having a happy Sunday. It's staying warm. It's staying dry because the weather in Louisiana has not been good today. And so until next time, I am